How's everyone doing? Let's get into some big shit. So, what happened recently through a line of synchronicity, and it's kind of funny because I was woken up at 3 in the morning by a neighbor. I was hearing loud noise, and I wasn't fucking mad. I was just like, okay, there's got to be a reason for me to be up at that time. It immediately, subconsciously shifted into the aspect of, yeah, there's got to be a reason. So, I kind of just started browsing certain things on YouTube, some of the more, more material that I kind of go into, like comedy. I fucking love you, Stephen He. It's amazing. Love your comedy. Full advertisement on him, and Cloudy McDoom as well. That kept me up for a certain amount of time, and I landed on this interesting video. I'll see if I can try to refer to the channel via comment, and I'll try to remember that, because what came up from that video was another take on reality transurfing, but from a quantum physics perspective. Reality transurfing is a book written by Vadim Zilin from Russia, and it's a very interesting breakdown of various techniques of quantum physics as well as philosophies, which I had encountered prior, yet now landing on this man's interpretation and various studies backed up from his experience, so many dots began to connect, okay? And this is where I want to bring this video. The idea, and because I had my previous understandings of as well, when it came to quantum physics, when it came to the law of attraction, when it came to metaphysics. And you guys know I looked at neurolinguistic programming, neurology, surface level, so various works. Yet this it synchronistically kind of came up because prior to that, a couple of days ago, I was kind of going, how do I know from believing to knowing? Because there's a very thin line in that regards, in the aspect of where the conscious mind will block you if you're not block you at believing, or even prior to that. And I've encountered multiple of that in the next few days, but that's another talk. Still, I had to ask that question, that I had that intention, and when landing on this video, it's like every dot started to connect at the very same time. And this was an accumulation / an amalgamation of all the hours I've spent listening to the various material, channeled material, law of attraction, and I want to try to break down this kind of this concept for you to kind of get how powerful this is. And it's something that we can all do. It's kind of like a breaking point for the conscious mind that still, we have been emotionally beaten into facts and data and skepticism. And the conscious mind often has this barrier that just kind of, oh well, but I can't do that, and blah, 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 blah. While when you keep reading this material, you're starting to gain an understanding that, what the fuck is cant? And this just was a big revelator, because eventually, after all of this, and the nugget that this person has brought with his video and interpretation of this, just kind of brought this sense of, oh, okay, so they're all saying the same thing. It is the same concept from different facets, different perspective, different wording, because, again, time changes the wording and definitions. Words through time change definitions and meanings. It always evolves. Certain concepts always evolve. And if you don't evolve, you stagnate, and, evolution takes care of the rest, in a sense. It has to be accepted and understood, because it does reflect upon your life. If you're remaining stagnant in a concept, and you guys have seen what has happened with our grandparents and the prior generation that were at times stagnant in a linear way of seeing reality because of the controlling church. Many of them died off because there were multiple options and ideas and availabilities that they didn't even touch. Now we're seeing the same thing happening on the extreme left when it comes to science, peer group reviews, and facts check. But you can understand that having seen both extremes, well, you're finding a nice balance, which is basically get as much information as you can, and as many practices as you can. Look into the multiple origins of certain traditions, spiritual tradition or even scientific traditions. Look at the multiple aspects of them and look at the testimonials from the people who tested them out and got results. You will find an interconnection between all of them. So, in my personal experience, you guys know my story. Started with NLP with Tony Robbins. I had prior talk from Jim Rohn. I had talks from Brian Tracy and books from Brian Tracy. The Master Key System by Hamill. The Power of the Subconscious by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Went to Neville Goddard. What else? There were more people if you check out the channel, from Brian Scott. Lots of his books I just ingested. Lots of his talks and different chapters of books. Give me all that knowledge, and exercises as well. There was also the Theosophical Society of America. That's another great YouTube channel where it's just like, give me all that knowledge. Wisdom of the Ages is another channel that I have been eating up. Set Speak is another great book, and the set material is something that I was just eating up, even if I did not fully grasp it, okay? Because it's not like fucking school. It's time to get out of this mentality. Oh my god, I will quiz you on knowing the entirety of it, even though there are certain parts you will obviously not necessarily be 100% knowledgeable or understanding or being able to connect the dots, because experience. You're not necessarily supposed to understand the full bombardment of a person's experience in the moment, because that would be logically living through their life, having the momentum and the same events leading to that understanding. Can you understand how illogical that concept was, right? So, again, Set Speak leading me to Abraham Hicks. Love Abraham Hicks. Louise Hay. Checked out Louise Hay's material. What the bleep do we know opened up a whole plethora of, holy shit, there's more stuff I want to check out. So from that, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Mr. I called them the Tree, or they're called like the Tree Amigos. So that whole circle, along with Joe Dispenza, was something that just, okay, give me that knowledge, which nearly led me to Gaia TV, but I didn't get a subscription because money for the current moment. But that's going to be on my radar. So that scientific circle, then back to the metaphysical circle when it came to watching The Secrets and the tree versions, even the extended movie that tries to apply some of the that does apply some of the principles. So there I kind of looked at a bit of Ramta, but I also indirectly landed on Ram Dass, which was quite interesting to see how a scientific person went to India and got his fucking mind blown, which was a similar experience to me, which I did talk about on the channel, or maybe I've spoken about too on TikTok, or to certain people individually. Who knows? I might try to bring that back, but it's a very interesting experience when you're a very anchored skeptic in the data. Once you have some of those mystical experiences, you're like, oh shit, which is part of what led me to this, give me all this knowledge, more channeled material. Dante Starshine on YouTube, love the channeling of the Pleiadians, and I've been checking even Dolores Cannon. There's this other person that kind of channels Master Jesus Speaks, which was really, more material. Mark Hogton on YouTube with the Quantum Shows and Podcast, which is another channel of his, which, again, give me all that knowledge, the dots starting to connect, people's testimonials, people having practiced these and having miraculous effects on their body, on their mind, on their fucking cells, and on the things that they manifest, what else? I'm trying to just dump that list. And having fun, Joe Vitale, which is another material that I checked out. What else? Joseph Ally. Again, I keep referring to Joseph Ally. Great material, breakdown of the Neville Goddard material, and he does his own sessions, coaching sessions, so that was awesome. Aaron Dowdy, lots of energy, especially talking from his own experience and how he kind of came out of the programming that he received with his abusive mother and various other things that society kind of indoctrinated him, especially the aspect of getting out of the fucking pills that they give people with ADHD, or just a stupid little label called ADHD, which is basically, in my rough and tough roughneck term, I'm too fucking lazy to teach you mindfulness, so please shut the fuck up. I don't have patience for you. Take those pills and fuck that mind of yours. Let's bring balance to it. They didn't know what they didn't know, and it was a systematic influence on us. It was a system that was affecting us, or people in this aspect. And they're doing the same with autistic people, and we've seen how they fucked this shit up in the past. You know, oh, take the pill, keep paying us every money, every month, you know, every year. Keep paying us, and don't take a hold of your own mind, okay? I love how he kind of broke it down and brought his own experience through that, because this is a testament to what the system has done to people, you know? And I want more people to speak out about this shit, because we don't want more kids to be affected this way by very lazy-minded, fact-checking type of shit, okay? I'm really adamant about it, because the way that they're treating kids, and us when we were a kid as second-class citizens, completely ignoring our emotional outputs and what was going on within, kind of left some scars over the years, okay? But that would be another video, or even spoken about too on TikTok, the ROMHQ_tick. Now, Aaron Dowdy, I've spoken about. Aaron Abke, great breakdown of the mystical Jesus, a great breakdown of A Course in Miracle, which is another great book to go into. So you can start seeing the pileup of hours, and then the pileup of hours of ingesting materials, cross-referencing them, and then after that, every time at night, science. Oh man, maybe it's more than 7 years. It's been more than 7 years where every night I would at least take 2 to 3 hours to go into meditation and break down those concepts in free flow. So 3 hours a night for 7 to 8 years, because I was doing something similar prior, but not to the same extent I could possibly tell from 7 years. Okay, so you add that up, hours, connecting the dots, testing it out, doing my own experiments like a game tester, tackling on a AAA release, Gold Master having to be released the next fucking morning. And eventually, upon landing on this channel, all dots connected. And it was just, you know, you can see that GIF just, you know, literally. It was fucked up. And that's coming from an old skeptic. You know, I hated religion. I fucking hated religion because I was stuck with parents that were showing the beautiful pace of, oh, I believe in Jesus, I believe in unity, I believe in accepting everyone. And then once they go back home, do this, what are you? And then gossiping over other people. And it's the same bullshit I see from leftists and nowadays. So I was a huge skeptic. But then when I started to do the exercise and put the work, put the time into it, you know, and actually cross-referencing it without being, oh, I don't like this, oh, I don't like that. It kind of, oh, I forgot to add Sadhguru. I lost my fucking count. It doesn't fucking matter. I forgot Sadhguru, Krishnamurti, what else? Amit Goswami? I think that's his name. Amit Goswami, the quantum activism, you know, Bentinho Masaru, just all the dump, you know. Eventually, dots became to connect because a different interpretation of the one law, whether you call it quantum law, whether you call it the God law, whether you quantum law of attraction, it's all the same. We've collectively in the world have been saying the same thing. It's just we had different words, terminologies, and different experiences. And we, again, as society, collectively had the one and done mentality. It's got to be this one thing or it's nothing. It's got to be this one thing from the popular mass or it's nothing. And that was always the most idiotic, limiting type of spectrum of thinking. which people will argue and defend. Why? Because Stockholm Syndrome, we have been beaten into a psychological limitation, into a data-driven idea from collective, or you could say the most popular and loud voice. Again, if you didn't do that, you didn't get the grade. If you didn't get the grade, then you didn't get the job. If you didn't get the job, then you'd get ostracized. If you got ostracized, then you didn't get shit afterward, which was the thought that was programmed into us, which is why we had all this pressure for these exams and all these data-driven type of shit, but it wasn't felt experienced. Okay? There's a massive difference between data-driven bullshit and felt experience. And of course, it's a balance. Yet ultimately, at the end of the day, you need to have the felt experience to get the results, which you are not going to do or get or even feel if you are stuck in a data-driven manner of living your life. So, what was cool was finally kind of understanding the concept of when Abraham Hicks talks about pre-paving, segment intending, connected it back to the NLP, neuro-linguistic programming from Tony Robbins aspect of just plan or rewrite certain memory or rewrite an event that you're about to do just to get into the state and peak state, which is the same thing as quantum jumping by thinking and pre-perceiving the actions you're about to do. You know, can you see how it all connects? Neville Goddard, pre-perceive the state that you wish to be. You know, have that inner talk. Be in the meditative state and pre-perceive. Start visualizing the end point. Law of attraction, end point. Again, this is how you indoctrinate this in your mind. You understand what I mean? How you can kind of get that new, how do you say, that new, sorry, music distracting, low volume. How you can anchor a new state within yourself, but at the same time, when you do that specific way, you're activating the observer effect. You are literally planning or getting the atom to just whoop, which means your goal, your objective, both being feeling and experiential, is syncing up to pace. You know, it is one heck of a concept to wrap your mind around, but we have all the materials that would kind of get your brain to wrap yourself around it. It is a tricky thing to bring into word, and it's fullness of non-duality, because there are so many nuances to feel in a single instances that expressing it in word will just feel like one sentence after another sentence after another sentence, which is a progression of feeling, but it is not all the feelings and nuances at the same time, which when you start getting into a non-dualistic state via meditation, which brings you into a non-attachment to terms and terminologies and definition, but leads you into an emotional journey back and forth, which would then lead you new data, new analysis, and new understanding, but then back into feeling, you eventually are able, one, you think at light speed by default, but you are able to surpass that light speed of thought due to the power of repetition, making you faster and faster at anything that you practice. But if you're not going to spend the time, you're fucked. If you're anchored into data, not understanding that data can be manipulated and has always changed throughout the years, but often been manipulated to pit people against each other and keep themselves in the lockbox, you are fucked. You're done. You're done. Evolution's gonna take its course and you are done. It's to understand that you are an ever expanding, ever evolving being by default. It is just that we have been manipulated by a system that has interest in your locked perception, in your illness, and both your physical and mental illness. Okay? And also your division. If I get you an enemy, you can't necessarily pay attention to whatever I do in the back. Nor will you expand yourself because you're constantly looking at the enemy like a goalpost compared to your true potential, which is a never-ending, continuously growing goalpost. See it as this, okay? With the current system, you are, especially school system and the whole facts system, you are locked into a single part of the ocean. We are over a billions in that ocean. So when you consciously understand that your little part of the ocean is a smidgen compared to the vastness of different experience, different understanding, different knowledges, different interpretation, different testimonials, different experiences from people, your perceptual and continuous, obsession over that small ocean. Sorry, I got to change the soundtracks. That's a thing I love to do. But your minute and like, I need the facts. That perceptual habit is illogical. Completely illogical compared to the vastness of what's out there. And the refusal to look and test out the vastness that what's out there is completely, how do you say, spitting on the scientific process. It is no longer being advocating for the scientific process. It is turning it into a religion. So, as I said, it is an indoctrination that has happened. It is not that people are stupid. It's not that. There is no stupidity. It is simply that people were, beaten, mentally beaten to follow such an illogical process. To get the grades, to then get the diploma, to get the job that you didn't get because you didn't have experience. So go back to flipping burgers. A lot of people had to face that. After all these years in setting into those careers, a lot of people had to face that. And here's the ironic part. All the struggle, and you're still not up to date with the current science and current experiments or even the current tools for your current career. Because you'll go on YouTube and it's like, what the fuck? This young punk's got some new tools for Photoshop and new technique. Why wasn't I taught that? Evolution. It just keeps growing. We are growing knowledge by the fucking minute. But again, the Western way, it's got to be this small little piece of ocean or else get ostracized or else you don't have the facts, So when you understand that it's just Stockholm Syndrome, it's just mental Stockholm Syndrome. It's unfortunate, but that's where certain people have been led to. And we saw the same thing with the religious right prior, okay? Jehovah's Witness. Oh man, I've got an illness. I can't get blood transfusion. Evolution just takes you away. It is to be in a non-dual state. It is not to shit on the facts, but it is to consciously and logically understand that there is a vast ocean out there of knowledge and understanding, and to be stuck on that little piece and just so needy, and because it's fear. When you are down to fear programming, your brain, your conscious mind, or even subconscious will straight up go for the most popular opinion in order to be safe. And then guess what? I guess that's how we got World War II. That's how we got communism. And it's literally that. But again, certain people, the same people going, remember history. We don't want to repeat history, are fucking repeating history right now. But they're doing it for the aspect of do it for the other person. The righteous aspect of the other person. Unbalanced compassion. Because you understand the true meaning of compassion when you connect the dots with all those information. It is not, I have to become a sword and shield for you. No, that's dumb. Because that's assuming literally assuming through your words, through the concept that comes out of your words. Careful about brainwashing. Words, okay? That's assuming that the other person is weak because they need a sword and shield. So they're weak. True compassion is understanding that the other person has the same abilities as you. We're all coming from the same source, from the same material, from the same quantum potential, from the same God, from the same energy, from the same planet. We're the same species. Put your brain into that understanding. And at that point, it is basically, I do not see you as weak. I understand that you have the same potential, and I am simply attempting to reawaken that potential within you because it's not out of you. It is always an aspect of reawakening. You want to dive into the Akashic records? We all have access to that. It's kind of like the internet, but interconnection with souls. So we don't need your device, Elon Musk. Let's just get into mindfulness, because that would be another aspect of take a pill for something that you can do naturally. And of course, with the side effects, which are effects of potentially getting your brain hacked. So careful for the magic pill. Be very careful, because we've seen throughout history, even recent history, how that fucked with people and fucked with generations. And again, yes, it is an aspect of taking time. Yes, it is an aspect of taking 30 fucking minutes and then some to just get the knowledge, try to interconnect the dots, do some exercise, and then see how progressively be mindful of your growth. To then understand how people's growth has occurred in similar way, but not the exact same way, because it all comes through the individual granularity of our perception and unique lifetime. No one will see through your eyes. No one will have the exact same perception as you, because we're all born in a different way and we all live... let me rephrase that. We're all born the same way, blank slate, but we all have different life experiences, which then generate this different momentum of learning and understanding and perceiving, okay? It's like saying back to basic, okay? It's like saying we will never have the same favorite dessert and have the same progression of experiencing and experimenting with different restaurants at the same time to develop a different palate. This is the most basic and simple way I can get you to understand that concept. So to remain stuck on facts and go, no, my favorite dessert is the best, no, is illogical compared to the vastness of possibilities of what you will experience and how you integrate it in a different way because of your perception. Always remember, perception has been formed throughout lifetime. We are not a hive mind. You got to get rid of that concept. TV often tries to put you into that idea because characters are written in a way to connect or attempt to connect to the most people. Yet, it's false. It's fake. It's still Newtonian physics. Windows 95, instead of going with quantum physics, Windows 10, 11, and whatever's going to be coming up. So, update your software. Or else you're going to get fucked. And evolution just takes you. And this is the beauty of this time and space. More people talking about their experiences. More people talking about their journey. More people being mindful and aware of the changes happening in their body throughout their journey. All right? Yes, we do have people that are, stuck in this, in this complete loss of mindfulness because of the distraction and all of that. Yes, this is a thing and it's to be understood. But more and more people are kind of getting out of that. They understand the dopamine addiction that these things have caused and just said, fuck it. Balance. It's all about balance. It's not about completely denying one thing or another, but it's about understanding that from point zero, you being a baby coming into this world with a blank hard drive, you are not to be associated with anything so strongly. You were given a name. You were given a country of ethnicity. You were given a word to tell you, this is that. This is what you are. This is who you are. But that's not you. You understand that concept? It's not you. That those terms and terminologies change each and every couple of years. Now it's changing much faster, which then changed the perception of people, which then changed what is acceptable. Remember, it's not too long where gays and trans and even women were not necessarily well seen by society because of a prior subconscious neurolinguistic programming. The popular message at the time was anti all of this. And recently we kind of went like, well, fuck it. We're humans. We're all humans. What's the fucking point? You start understanding? Every time the new generation kind of came in, the younger kids, they're like, well, what the hell is that? Why? Why are you not accepting this person? What's going on? You know? And again, you don't blame the prior generation. It's all programming by society. You see how they kind of nearly fucked with the new generation with trigger words? Implementing a subconscious virus that vicious? It's like putting a shotgun in front of as your own perception, so that anything that comes in your perception that reacts or that causes a trigger based on what we were telling you or what you were told, you know, but you're the one walking with that shotgun in front of you. It's just that the shotgun is the perception that you were given. And why I bring it so violently as a shotgun is because when you study neurology, your emotional reaction affects your cells, your neurons, and your body. Your emotional reaction can cause a breakdown of your body. If you are always in fear and in anxiety, your cells and your body will break down. Connect that to the quantum law. If you keep seeing the worst case scenario, you are heading towards it. You are sending it forward. You are walking to that timeline. It's fucked up. So if you are fed the worst case scenario continuously, well, evolution's just going to take its course. It is what it is. It's been tested. There's testimonials as well. People have had experiences. We're no longer shunning one thing or another. It's an aspect of collect the data and connect the dots. Even if something is not, even if something doesn't necessarily vibe with you, even if an explanation doesn't necessarily vibe with you, logically, you have the brain to say, I don't necessarily like this. I can see some connections there, but what do I prefer? And from that question, you go off to a different material. Or you channel it true. We can all do that. Akashic Records, man. It's real shit. But you won't tap into it because, well, I won't say you. I won't generalize. But often people won't tap into this because data. The school beating, the Stockholm Syndrome. I don't want to be wrong. So if I'm fearful, I got to go with the most assured 100% pill, which is never really 100%. It's just because, the collective or the media, you could say society, just it's that, but completely ignoring the rest of the ocean. Remember, what you're being fed is an infinitesimal percentage of the all, and then some. Because, yeah, fucking aliens, get up to date, people. They're fun, but seeing society has the programming of negative aliens through movies, through video games, they won't fucking tap into it. We're the generation that just are kicking down the door and going, yo, fuck this. We saw how this manipulated prior generation. We saw how it kept people indoctrinated in lots of illogical tendencies, okay? And that's without opening the money box, work for your free time. But that's another subject. But there's so many illogical inconsistencies due to the manipulation that has been done on the population. Hell, you see, yo, what's up, leftist? All accepting, all inclusive, right? Why aren't you talking about what the Aboriginals are saying in Australia, right? That being forced to take something is, oh, what? The same as the colonialism that happened early at the beginning of Australia, right? No one, oh, right, they flaky. Same goes for the extreme right. You guys believe in Jesus, right? Okay, so why'd you take the mark of the beast? Why'd you activate and practice the belief, right? There was a hippie preacher back in the 60s called Lonnie Frisbee. That's another material I have to check out. Who knew and had a direct understanding of the metaphysical law through the Bible. Just like Neville Goddard, just like Joseph Murphy. But this guy would actively give people the experience, you know? If you ever saw faith healing, that shit is not entirely fake. And you got to be careful. There's a difference between faith healing and exorcism. Okay? But that would be another video. But yes, do not underestimate the power that has been shown with faith healing. Even if you dislike religion, I know what you mean. I was a huge skeptic. But then I started to break it down. And of course, some of them are, you could say, over-reliant on the one idea of God and Jesus, but they still get result. Okay? The problem is, once the dogmas are kind of understood and perceived, then that pillar kind of fall, and it's like the plug is disconnected. When you understand this concept from multiple perspectives and point of view, you are able to apply it without needing a one and only standard. You see how, extreme left and extreme right are balancing back and forth? So, still, Lonnie Frisbee was able to fucking give that experience to people. He was able to manifest as well. The only thing, and unfortunately, which is why I brought the power plug getting disconnected, the only thing that kind of fucked his story was the fact that once the church found out he was gay because he developed AIDS, or he contracted AIDS, they stripped him of his rank, they stripped him out of the books, they dismissed his story, and he fell into a depression because he thought God had left him. And no, God doesn't leave you. Again, unconditional love does not leave you. But when you're programmed to see that concept in the one way, one method, and the popular societal message, boop, plug, unplug, done. It fucks with your energy to that point. He could have beat it too. He could have beat AIDS easily. But unplugged. And it happens. But not to leave on a somber note, but to have note in that story, I'm grateful. And many are grateful. Multiple people have been sending feedback to those who did the documentary. So we are grateful to have known that story. We just understand that this person could have beat it if he wasn't stuck on that pillar, the religious indoctrination pillar, So this is a testament to what you are capable of diving into and consciously understanding, as well as then create afterward. Oh fuck, I forgot Deepak Chopra too. Oprah. I'll be bombarding more and more lists, but just get this way, okay? You are an ever-expanding being. What you have been fed was a small pond in an continuously expanding ocean. As you keep looking in that expanding ocean and you keep asking yourself, what do I prefer? What way do I prefer to learn this? What kind of explanation do I prefer? What flow of explanation or kind of energy of explanation do I prefer? You will go into the next one and into the next one. As you do that, you connect the dots and the principles become much easier to, one, integrate, and then two, repeat. Especially as you take the testimonials from, thank you, you kind-hearted people talking about your experiences, and not feeling judged, saying, whatever, your judgment's your own perception. You're the one developing your own cancer anyway. Literally. And I'm loving this new generation of people being much more open to talk about their feelings and how the interconnection happened. This is beautiful. So you, with all that material, you will not go back to the previous programming when you watch movie or TV. You'll actually feel that it slows you down intellectually. So you won't ingest as much. You won't be doing the Netflix binge watching. Or if you do, you'll just be laughing at characters being stuck in just a very small, minute perception of reality and not game sharking themselves to use the quantum law. Like I told you, Free Guy could have ended real fast if Ryan Reynolds just went debug command console spawn item done. Yo, Hishay, use that. I don't have time to animate it, so it'd be kind of funny. Movie over, really quick. If the AI becomes sentient, then the AI can become sentient of the fabric of its reality. And at this point, it can just debug command or console command. So let us all do this collectively. That's what we're kind of doing by learning quantum physics or law of attraction, the God law, whatever you want to call it. That's knowing and trying to understand the console command behind the game, which is physical reality. When you tap into that, shit becomes so much more fun, and unity is your default standard because you understand how people are ourselves, how we all kind of get programmed initially. But now we're at a state where, oh, okay, well, fuck that programming. Fuck division. Fuck the programming. Fuck this stereotype type of mindset, you know? Fuck the TV type of mindset. Fuck the social media type of mindset, the really anchored and boxed in type of mindset. The people that just kind of want to type their 30 character or their 30 paragraphs without necessarily understanding. Buddy, your paragraph doesn't explain the complex nuances that you are attempting to express. It doesn't bring shit emotionally. It really doesn't mean shit, practically. It's a small fragment of what you're trying to express. Why are you wasting your time? Get on Zoom, voice message, back and forths. But typing doesn't mean shit. It really doesn't. It's not an experience. It doesn't reflect fully an experience. Even me trying to break this down in 42 minutes does not fully reflect the second per second or millisecond per millisecond interaction of all 5 to 6 senses, bringing an understanding and an experience. Do you get that? Is this too complex? Have I gone too quantum when I asked YOLO, bring this shit to me because I want to know, and the guides just went, or what the metaphysical entities just went, we're going to bring it to you. And then subsequent synchronicities and dots being connected. Just ask for it. And 2 things. And here's the Game Shark. Golden keys, okay? Because we're playing this shit like a Game Shark, all right? Ask for it is 1. I want to be open to all this interconnected material, knowing why. Why? Because I want to live more happily. Why? Because we have those natural abilities and it would be fun. Why? Because it'd be fun to help people with this as well, you know, naturally exude it and share it to people in a way that they could kind of understand it to the best that they can. So use that key, but then use another key. And this is the daring key because non-duality, right? There's the asking for it, but then golden key number 2 or golden bullet number 2. What would it feel if I was in this state in the current present? Remember when I asked you, or I suggested this exercise, even on TikTok, of embodying the transcendent masters? That is one heck of a golden bullet. And you'll see if your conscious mind is like data, or still stuck in the indoctrination, the corrupted text, as I like to say, the edited text, you know, for suppression, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel the distortion via your heart reaction. Again, the heart reaction is straight up universe, God, spirit, energy, kind of telling you you're in division from yourself and the universe. So any Any heart reaction, if you hate somebody else or you hate yourself, it is still the same variation of that heart reaction. Be mindful of that. So when you use that second golden bullet, you're going to feel the distortion if you've been indoctrinated in a dogmatic religion or science. But dare be bold and use that second one, understanding that you're constantly evolving and integrating. But just jumping into a higher goalpost or asking what would be the feeling if I were at that higher goalpost will download that information back to you, leading you to that goalpost. And just be bold about this. Have fun. There's a reason why Jesus said, you will do my work and greater. And somebody's going to paraphrase the exact same text. That's, again, conscious anchoring. Do not remain so stuck up over labels and various specific nitty gritty, because when you start thinking quantum, you process information at such a speed that it doesn't fucking matter. It's feeling experience. Okay. Woo! 46 minutes. And I'm trying to cram that in 3 minutes on TikTok. Please, if you want those bits of bombardment, because I do at least 3 to 4 a day, DROMHQ _tick. TIK. Alright? And yeah, feel free to have interactions if you have more questions. I'm loving the interactions we're having back and forth, especially on Instagram, DROMHQ. I love your audio messages. Having these back and forth and more knowledge and understanding is fucking amazing. Especially when you talk about those feeling experience and we have those exchanges and we start understanding what's been happening in the background. Loving you guys for this. And then everyone watching this and understanding this is loving you for it, because it just comes back. It comes back. It is sharing. It is giving. And also, some who've been asking for donation. For donation, you can PayPal me at romdomerson@gmail.com. So if it helps you, send whatever you want. I'm not picky on this. I've reached a state where this knowledge kind of comes true, and it's, without going into the chakras and blockages, it just needs to come true. Okay? Like I said, when I said, yo, YOLO, bring it all, I didn't expect that, but now it's like, okay, just let it flow. Or else if I keep it within and I stay stuck, or if I only use it for service to self, karma comes back. You don't know what you don't know. And oftentimes, well, I haven't used it for service to self, but just blocking it and not necessarily wanting to bring it out was, in a sense, still counts as service to self. It's not abusing it on others, which is another form of service to self, which the controlling forces are doing, which is why they're so scrambling to add more fear onto people. Karma coming back. It's inevitable. You may be the person that haven't pulled the trigger, but you still gave the order. So you're still karmically tied to it. Anyway, like I said, it has to come out. I'm sharing this with you guys, and I'm loving the interaction that we had. So if you want to bring out donation, I will fully accept it to your ease, to your degree, whatever you want to give. romdomerson@gmail.com. And I'm welcoming anything that you have to bring. It's all cool. It'll finance more of this. One, Audible, jumping into Audible, getting more knowledge, processing this, and trying to bring this into a bite-sized milky version for you guys, just to get you guys into that momentum, because once you pick it up, you're just going to get to that same state. You can generate this. Remember, 7 to 8 years ago, fucking skeptic. Now, and it's all being practiced as well. It's truth is stranger than fiction. If you guys want me to go into some of the weird practices that I'm doing right now, please put it in the comments. I'll be free. I'm feeling free to talk about this, and even bringing this in the video game angle, because that's how I kind of integrated it via game testing as well. And this is how it got easier for me to jump into this and to do exercise to get results. So, yeah. I'm also working on more images to try and explain those concepts. So, it'll finance that. Thank you guys. You guys rock. You got this. Just know it already, and this is that golden bullet. You got this. Tell yourself you've got this, and you'll download incrementally true synchronicities, more and more understanding of what's going on within yourself, and you'll clear up all that anxiety, all that depression, and all those mental blockers that we were fucked with. Literally. That's why society is kind of crashing down now. Too many people getting this. Have a good one, guys. We're all in this together. And again, those who are stuck in that, give them the compassion. Subconscious programming is a bitch, and there are starting to get court cases to bring media to court for subconscious and non-consensual neurolinguistic programming. So the momentum has begun, and we're going to see those news media and news outlets pass to court and have a nice stay at Guantanamo for illegal hypnosis. So have a good one, guys. We're all in this together. Fuck the division. Let's keep sharing this knowledge. Talk about your feelings. People who judge, toss them to the side. Evolution's just going to take care of it. All right? Have that good one. Compassion, love, unity, and playfulness. Gotta be played. Chill with this.